The chair recognizes Representative Moolenaar.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Secretary
Nice to see you.
Chavez-DeRemer. Nice to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here with us
Sure,
today.
glad to be here.
And I've appreciated our conversations over the years, and you represented a state that has a lot of agricultural activity and understand, I know based on your time in Congress, you were involved in the workforce issues and agriculture, and I want to follow up on some of the discussion you've already had on the H-2A AWR situation in Michigan. Have you been to Michigan before?
Oh, sir, I used to live in Michigan.
Well, we need you to come
I
back.
used to live in Ann Arbor, and my daughter lives in Saginaw now, so
Okay.
I was just there visiting
Well-
my grandson, so yeah.
Well, we want you to come back, and
Glad to
we'd
do it.
love to have you meet with some of our farmers. Some are fifth, sixth generation fruit growers, vegetable growers, who are really under tremendous financial stress right now. And it's because of a federal mandate that increases the cost of labor for them, the H-2A. And so in Michigan, you have these farmers where they're paying transportation for their workers, they're paying housing, and then they're also forced to pay over $18 an hour. And they just can't make it anymore. And so there's an urgency. It's a huge importance. I know, you know, based on your willingness to work on this, and I appreciate that, and I know the chairman talked with you about it. What I would propose is working with Secretary Rollins. We brought this up the other day in the agricultural subcommittee, and she pledged to work on this as well. And I think the two of you and your teams working together, I know we've already done some calls on this, could really help resolve this. And I know there's a process that needs to take place, but there's also an urgency. So I've introduced legislation similar to what Representative Clyde mentioned, pausing the increase for 2 years, just to give some relief as we work on a longer-term solution. And I know, you know, some of the litigation issues, and you don't necessarily want to comment one way or another, but I would welcome your technical input on that legislation and would welcome being part of any work group that could be established to help resolve this both on a short-term basis as well as a long-term basis.
Absolutely. And so any technical assistance that we can give you through the Department of Labor, ETA, and specifically, I'm glad to do it as you follow through with any legislation that Congress is working toward. As in regards to Secretary Rollins, we visit often in regards to how the workforce and agriculture really collide all the time. And then working with Secretary Noem as well on just the H programs. One of the things that I heard as a member of Congress and in working with a lot of you was the dedication on just the systems in play themselves, and sometimes navigating that for our farmers and ranchers has been quite difficult. And so we're working on that through the Department of Labor, and I've directed my team to make sure that there is a dedicated focus to either members of Congress and or you know, respective states who need to say, I just need some help navigating this, because time is money. We understand that. We understand the workforce matters. And so we're working hard in that process, and I'll continue to do so, really at the direction of the president, that we have seen that all secretaries to work together to understand what's happening, and then the workforce, you know, that pipeline is much needed oftentimes, and is so different in every state.
Thank you, and I also just wanted to follow up, being familiar with Michigan as you are, Mackinac Island is a very
yes,
special place.
been there.
And, you know, one of the things a lot of people don't realize is the H-2B visa is very much in use there. Because of the process where there's a cap on that, and sometimes there's a lottery where people don't know if they're going to get, you know, the H-2B workers that they need, they're in a situation where they don't know if they can open their business. And so it actually costs American jobs, because businesses that employ H-2B workers as well as local area workers don't have that certainty. And it would be an issue of working with Secretary Noem and yourself, and we would welcome your help lifting that cap, or at least providing the certainty so that more people can get the workers they need on Mackinac Island.
No, thank you for bringing that up. It's important, and I'll continue to work with the other secretaries as it takes all different agencies to determine this, and streamlining that and working together is going to be key, and we'll continue down that road so that it's more efficient for the people who are using the programs themselves.
Can I ask one last quick question? I've been meeting, you know, in Michigan, we have 83 counties. A lot of the counties have county fairs. They have, you know, the carnival rides
Sure.
and the workforce they need for that. That's another area where I would ask you to consider what options might be available, because that's so important to the rural communities.
We want to grow all the workforce that's needed here to supplement and supply our American workers and our American businesses. So I will. And if you can, at that fair, have some Mackinac Island fudge ice cream, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
I yield back.